In the spring of 1981, a strange new arcade cabinet appeared in Portland, Oregon. It didn't look like the others. It was solid black, unmarked. The screen flashed with hypnotic spirals and strange shapes. Kids lined up to play it, but something was wrong. They reported nausea, hallucinations, seizures. Some blacked out. Some forgot their names. A few were never the same again. Then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the machine vanished. No photos, no footage, no record of its developer. But everyone who remembered it knew the name, Polybius. They also remember the men in black suits who came to collect it. And now, 40 years later, we're left with one question. Did this game ever exist? Or was it the perfect illusion, crafted from fear, memory, and manipulation? The Polybius legend begins with a few scattered reports from Portland arcades in 1981. According to the myth, a mysterious game cabinet arrived with no fanfare, no branding, and no explanation. Players described the gameplay as fast-paced and disorienting, full of spirals, strobing lights, and strange pulsing tones. Some said it felt like the game was reading them, studying them. After just a few rounds, they experienced side effects, intense headaches, insomnia, terrifying dreams. A few claimed memory loss. Others said they felt compelled to keep playing, even when it made them sick. Then came the sightings of shadowy government agents. Men in dark suits observed the machines. They recorded data. And after several weeks, the cabinets disappeared. It was as if the game had never existed, but the name remained burned into memory. Polybius. A single word, a warning, or a ghost. So where did Polybius come from? The earliest known reference to the game doesn't come from 1981, but from 1998 on a now archived website called coinop.org. The listing described a lost arcade game that caused intense psychological effects and mentioned a supposed developer, a German-sounding company called Sinslotion, translated as sensory deletion. This was a pre-social media internet, a wild west of forums, usernet groups, and personal websites where information spread not through algorithmic feeds, but through curious users sharing obscure knowledge. In this environment, a tantalizing mystery like Polybius, lacking any tangible proof but rich in unsettling detail, could flourish and evolve. It tapped into a collective desire for secret histories, for stories hidden just beneath the surface of the mundane. but no record of such a company exists in the arcade industry. Still, the story took hold, and by 2003 it reached print, appearing in GamePro magazine's feature on video game urban legends. By then, it had already fused with real events. In 1981, a boy named Michael Lopez collapsed while playing Tempest at a Portland arcade. Another teen suffered stomach pain after a 28-hour asteroids marathon. And perhaps most strangely, the FBI did conduct raids on arcades that year, investigating machines allegedly tampered with to record player scores. Fact and fiction were bleeding together. So we ask, was Polybius created to explain these coincidences? Or was someone want us to believe it never existed? Several theories attempt to explain Polybius. One points to the CIA. During the Cold War, secret projects like MK Ultra explored mind control, sensory deprivation, and psychological warfare. Could Polybius have been a digital extension of that research, a new tool to test how games could manipulate behavior? Or was it part of a government data mining experiment, a way to collect response times, addiction thresholds, and stress reactions in live environments? The game was just a test bed. The real objective were the players. But the most likely explanation, according to experts, is this. Polybius is an urban legend. A retroactive myth born from the chaos of the early internet, mashed together with Cold War paranoia, arcade culture, and real headlines. It's a perfect storm of anxieties, the fear of new technology, the unease with government secrets, and the pervasive sense that something unseen might be pulling the strings. Polybius isn't just a story about a game. It's a story that perfectly reflects a specific cultural moment, giving a name and a narrative to diffuse societal fears. But if it was a hoax, who created it and why? No one has ever taken credit. No confession, no slip-up, no trail. What kind of prank survives 40 decades without a single reveal? Despite the lack of evidence, Polybius refuses to die. Fan-made games exist on platforms like Steam, based on descriptions from the legend. Replica cabinets have appeared at conventions. It's been featured in The Simpsons, Loki, and videos from creators like the Angry Video Game Nerd. The name Since Lotion still appears in online discussions, even though no developer was ever found. And on Reddit, threads like "I still want to believe" show how the myth has outlived the truth. Maybe it never mattered whether Polybius was real. Maybe the fear, the obsession, the mystery, that was the point. So was Polybius real? There are no cabinets, no ROMs, no confirmed players, no photographs, just a name and a feeling. But still, The story spreads like a virus, like a memory we can't shake. Because maybe Polybius was never just a game. Maybe it was a mirror. And maybe, just maybe, someone out there is still playing it.